About 3 months ago, we heard that the course was closing. Me and Anthony Blackburn, who have dads that play at the golf course, of course got very concerned and wanted to get more details about it. So we had a meeting with the golf manager, and he allowed us to communicate with the owner of the golf course. So we called him up and started getting some details. And what's going on is he's got an uncle that's very heavily invested into that golf course that his health is failing. So they are trying to establish, I guess, a trust for him, start selling off his assets, and they were going to sell off everything at the Stoneybrook Golf Course December 31st, all the equipment and everything. So after talking to them, we asked him if we could get the county interested in purchasing the golf course. Would you keep it open? And he said he would keep it open right now temporarily for 2 months, and if we can get just an interest in looking at preserving this golf course, he will keep it open for a year. That's what he said. So we're hoping that we can get you guys interested in wanting to purchase this golf course. You know, you might want, you know, if the park board needs to make a recommendation or evaluate, whatever you guys want to do, but we really appreciate your just your input and your thoughts and consideration of keeping this place open. Thank you.
I have a question for you. Have they put a selling price on it, or do you know?
They have it listed for $2 million. Thank you.
I want to thank y'all for letting me speak tonight. George hit the highlights. I want to get down to the nuts and bolts.
Name and
Oh, I'm sorry. Mike Sharpton. I live at 1006 Hillcrest Avenue here in Columbia.
I figured if I knew him.
That's all right. I'm glad he didn't. The golf tournaments that George was talking about. I want to talk about the Elks Lodge. They have their biggest fundraiser with that golf course out there. CA has a tournament. Knights of Columbus has a tournament. There's a tournament out there just about every Saturday, whether it's 100 people or 25 people. High school practices out there, CA practices out there. So you talk about parks and recreation, it's needed in our portfolio for the county. Can it make money? Yes. If you want to see an example, I'll take 3 of you and we'll get tee times and we'll go over and play Old Fort over in Murfreesboro that's owned by the city over there. If you want to start for the U.S. Open, you have to start at Old Fort in Murfreesboro. Okay? So if we have this golf course and put some money into it, we could have a gym for southern Middle Tennessee to where we'd have people driving in here from Alabama and everywhere else wanting to play this golf course. It's not only needed for the seniors, I'm there now, but you have all these young people that's out there also, high school, CA, they're out there. So I want you to really consider looking at this, because being part of our recreational portfolio, when you looked at the map and you saw the 3 oblong circles, the one that was missing is going down Camelsville Pike. That we're going to have more growth, and there's going to be more people, and we're going to be needing this. So I want to thank y'all for considering this, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. My name is Mark Cook, 925 Harmony Way, Columbia, Tennessee. I was born and raised in Columbia, and in 1961, the vision of Mr. Warren and Mr. Osborne created Stoneybrook Golf Course. Since 1961, Stoneybrook Golf Course has been part of the Maury County and the city recreation plan. What has happened here recently has put us in a position where we're about to lose it. And the turnout today, I think, is indicative of how much passion it is. But when I left Columbia in 1976, and went to the TVA and lived in a lot of places that had municipal golf courses. Some of them were very successful, some of them went under. I watched 2 golf courses die. And when I moved back here in 2015, I actually got a job at Stoneybrook, and I've mowed grass out there 3 days a week. You know, and this is my 3rd season to do it. Out there doing that allows me to study the dynamics of the people that are playing there. Watching Mr. Blackburn, Jim Blackburn, I don't know if he's in here or not, he's 91 years old, he plays about 5 days a week if the course is open. So, and he's not the only one. And so there's a tremendous recreational opportunity there that the commission, our leaders, have never ever had to consider not having Stoneybrook Golf Course in our recreational plan. And Stoneybrook is a gem in the rough. It would not take very much money at all to make it a top-line course and still maintain a green fee that the average person can afford to play. And I thank this commission for allowing us to stand here and talk about this. And I hope that y'all take it under advisement and really look at the numbers hard, because if you guys, which are the leaders of this community, want a golf course in our recreational plan, the question I think you guys would need to study hard on is if the answer is yes, is Stoneybrook the cheapest way to go versus building a course from scratch? Because what's going to happen, Stoneybrook's either going to be open or it's not going to be open, and there's going to be a tremendous amount of tax revenue that's going to leave every day. Because they're going to go to Summertown, they're going to go to Lewisburg, they're going to go to different places. Now, one of the things that we are not asking for, I'm not asking for, is that I'm not asking to burden the county with something that's going to just sucking the county dry. It's relatively minor. I see this every day working out there with Mr. Saxby and all of them. And I think that the numbers are looked at correctly, and you couple it in with the recreational plan and the presentation that's just done, I think you'll find out that by far, saving Stoneybrook Golf Course will be the cheapest way so Columbia and Maury County has a public golf course.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Dr. Lewis, I live at 104 Hogan Lane in Columbia. I can't do it off the cuff like these other people can, so I'm going to read it if you bear with that. I was raised in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and it's a very beautiful city, probably one of the prettiest in the country. The early city planners had the wise foresight to factor in an extensive park system early on before the city was built up. They're setting aside various areas around the city for parks has made Minneapolis a very unique showcase. And the parks are within walking distance of almost every neighborhood. They define neighborhoods and bring them together, and each one has a history, both community-wise and personally. The one I live near is the one where my parents met during one of their many festivals celebrated there. And we spent many summer days there on family picnics and walking the paths. My father grew up in northern Alabama in Giles County, and so I visited this area often as a child, and I still have family here. I've always loved this part of country, and my husband and I chose to retire here rather than Minnesota because of the charm of this area, but without the harsh winters. I chose to build in Stoneybrook because my husband and I wanted to live out our lives in a very pretty setting. But now I feel that setting is being threatened and we don't have a lot of time. The golf course is on the brink of closing, and though not technically a park, it has all the attributes of one. And it's not sitting idle, as you've heard Mr. Wallace telling all the activities that are going on there. You have the same opportunity as that of the founding fathers in Minneapolis. You have it in your power to be instrumental in preserving one of our greatest assets, Maury County is beginning to grow at a rapid rate. We need a county park in our area on the south side. Once this park is gone, it's gone forever. And what we'll be left with? Vacant land waiting to be snatched up by quick-build speculators who have no concern for the character or quality of the life of this community. And it would be a shame to miss this opportunity to preserve the beauty of Stoneybrook. Thank you for taking time to hear us, and we place our trust in your hands to protect this gem of a heritage that we have here in Maury County. As I said, once it's gone, it's gone.
Thank you, Ms. Woods.
From 1990 to 2002, I was a club and teaching professional in Florida, and Knoxville and Chattanooga, involved in the Florida Junior Golf, Knoxville Parks and Recreation. I was involved with the first tee program starting up there in 1998. I started a golf team and at a middle school. It won 3 championships in 4 years. In those 3 years, I had 13 kids get college scholarships. So I see golf from the perspective not only as one of the greatest games that we could ever have, besides college football, go Vols. But for me, it was a tool. It was a tool to teach life lessons and teach values to kids. Things like character, integrity, and perseverance. And, you know, to reiterate what Mr. Sharpman said, is that this course has been here for a long time, and growing up here, I had the opportunity to play golf. And if we lose that opportunity, not only do the seniors and everybody lose a chance to do it, the kids in the future lose an opportunity to learn one of the greatest games that's ever out there. So, you know, when you think about this, think about, hey, would you like your kid to grow up and have a game to play? Because if we lose this, we not only lose it for the people that were in here and the 100 people that left that couldn't get in here, you're losing it for the kids. So, you know, I think that's something to consider for the future of Columbia. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna take some questions now.
As Ethan said, it's expensive to operate a golf course. It's not, it's my opinion that the county doesn't go around bailing out private entities. I just don't think it's the right thing to do at this time for the county. We've got many more pressing needs like landfill issues. We've got courthouse problems. I don't know if you've been in the courthouse lately. We've got transfer station that we need to pay for. It's coming in about $10 million. We got to pay for that. The place that we put trash and we transfer it to, you know, trucks and let them haul it off to the landfill. That's an expensive venture. And schools, we got to operate the schools, and we got to, of course, consider all their needs as well. So, to me, Madam Chair, I think this is, for me anyway, it's a hard pass for me. I just don't think we should be doing it. Thank you.
Honestly, I don't know whether they play shuffleboard or rook while they're there, but we support our senior citizens. And I just suggest that we ask our Maury County Park Board to take a look at it, maybe with the help of Mr. Laconan's office, and evaluate the numbers and just see. I agree with some of the comments. It's a gem. It's something, if we lose, I think will be an issue. I think it will be an issue for our Chamber and Maury Alliance as far as recruiting businesses. I think it'll be a problem for Industrial Development Board if we don't have those facilities, because the way the course is priced right now, I understand it's a bargain for those that play. And I understand that most of those people that play would be willing to pay more. And it's just like in our economy today, nobody throws their hand up and says, I'll pay more taxes. But yet,
you know, they're willing to pay a little more for an annual subscription or membership, whatever you want to call it. I think to jump on the train and say that, no, it's easy to say no. You tell your kids no all the time. Sometimes whether you mean yes, you just tell them no because you can. And unless we look at this and evaluate, to be further pursued to evaluate. We may get 2 months down the road after evaluating and say, there's no way this thing will make money. Or we may get down the road and say, we've raised the rates $50 a month, and we just raised another $102,000 of operating expenses. Those are some of the numbers I've been told. And if we can operate in the black or even near black, I think it's worth looking at. So my recommendation to the committee that you at least forward it back or send it to the park board for their evaluation.